In my previous video, I showed you some tips and tricks on soldering. I had a few questions about what kind of flux I use and where I got them from. Well, I actually make my own flux, and it's actually free everywhere if you know where to look. So today we'll show you where I get my pine resin for free and how to make a liquid flux out of it. Let's get started. First of all, let me show you how to collect pine resin from a pine tree. The easiest way to collect it is to harvest the dry resin that's already on the tree. Here's one example. You can see the yellow and brownish color resin that's already hardened and form a little ball right on the bark. Just peel it off and voila, you get your resin. This is so easy. But the problem is it's hard to find, so you will probably have to walk for hours in order to find one. There's no guarantee you're going to get one. And even if you can find one, sometimes they're high up in the trees, so it's too high to reach. So this method, even though it's easy, is no guarantee. So instead of finding the resin on the bark of the tree, you can find the resin right on the pine cones. These pine cones were dropped from my pine tree and they were all over my garden. Sometimes there are a lot of dry resin right on these pine cones, and all you have to do is to scrape it off. However, these pine cones are from a very productive tree, and that's why they have so much resin. So these are the pine cones that are lying all over the ground of my garden, and they are the ones that are already fallen. I did not pick them. On each pine cone, there are a lot of resin stuck to the pine cone. There's a lot over there, there's a lot over here. It's everywhere. All over the pine cones. I'm going to put it on a piece of paper here, and then I'm just going to peel off the pine resin, and then it's just going to fall right onto my piece of paper, and that's where I will collect all the pine resin. This is very easy to collect. Check out this one. It's got big clumps of pine resin stuck on it. Easiest way to do this is use my cutter and just cut it out just like that. Comes out very easily, just like that, just like that. So easy to come out. Here we go. This is how much pine resin I got from all of these pine cones from this box. That's a lot. That's way more than what I need for this project. Let's see how much it weighs. We got 8.28 grams. That is a lot for just a few pine cones. Now it's time to make some flux. I'm going to use 91% isopropyl alcohol and mix with my resin here. And the ratio is 2 parts alcohol and 1 part resin. I like my flux to be a little bit runny and liquidy, and it's easy to work on like this. I'm using a 5 ml glass bottle with a wine cork style cap. You want to avoid bottles with a twist style cap like this, where you twist in and out to open and close, because over time the resin is going to accumulate over here and on the cap. There was one time it got stuck on here really bad, so I couldn't open it with my hand, so I have to use a pair of pliers, grab on here, try to twist it, and next thing I know, boom, the glass shattered and it's all over the place. And that's why I use a glass bottle with a wine cork style cap like this. I have a little bit of plastic foot wrap to wrap it around like that, so that it doesn't get stuck on here. And if I need to, I just peel off this plastic and put a new piece of plastic on. And that's very convenient. Alright, so we need about half a bottle of the resin. Alright, so I got about half of the bottle. You see how much I have left here. This is about 10 times as much as that. So basically I can make about, this is 5 milliliter, I can make about 50 milliliter a bottle of flux out of all of this. So what I'm going to do is to fill up the alcohol all the way near the top here. So that's 2 parts alcohol, 1 part resin. Some of you might argue that half of this bottle is already resin, so only the alcohol occupies the top part. But you have to keep in mind that this is solid, and therefore there are a lot of spaces between the particles. So the actual ratio is more like 1.5 to 1, but you get the idea. Alright, so just pour the alcohol in there. There we go. This is not gonna dissolve right away. It's gonna take some time to dissolve, so I'm just gonna leave it overnight, and it should be done in the morning or after about 12 hours. Alright, it's been 12 hours and looks like everything is dissolved. I stirred it up a little bit and let it settle, and there is still a lot of dirt on the bottom, and there are also some dirt particles suspended in the liquid. So what I'm gonna do is to filter this out using just a piece of paper towel. Now just gonna dump it in here. Now you can see the liquid is a lot clearer with just 1 pass. As you can see, after filtering the liquid out, I've lost about 20% of the liquid. Some of the liquid stays here on the bottom here, which I can't use, and some of the liquid got stuck to the paper. So there you go, nice and clear liquid flux from pine resin. Now let's give this a try, shall we? I'm going to try it without the flux first. See how easy or hard it is to solder without the flux. This is stranded copper wire. It does stick, but have a very hard time sticking. And I got a blob of solder. Yep, that's what happened. It does not want to stick. Check out the quality of the solder. It sticks just a little bit and nothing. Okay, I'm going to use the same thing, but this time I'm going to dip it in here first. Now I'm going to use the same blob of solder as before. Yep, sticking really good. Nice and shiny. It's beautiful. I didn't go all the way around because I didn't have enough solder, but you can see, beautiful. So as you can see, with the solder, it sticks a lot better and it works in a lot faster than without the flux. And it's nearly impossible to solder without the flux. So there you go, how to make liquid flux from solid pine resin. I think making your own flux is not just about saving money, it's about knowing what is in here, because when you're soldering, you're gonna inhale quite a bit of fume coming out of this. So if you buy these on the internet, you basically don't know what you're inhaling, as opposed to by making it yourself, you know what's exactly in here, and therefore it's a lot safer. Another reason why you should make your own flux is simply just because you need it right now. So you're working on your project and you run out of soldering flux, and you don't want to wait for the next day for the Amazon delivery truck to come in. All you gotta do is just go to your backyard, pick up some pine resin, and boom, 5 minutes later, you get your own flux. And that is sometimes more important than anything else. And that's all I have for now, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.